Stick around for this video, you don't want to miss it. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe, like, and share this out. There is a lot of news that we're going to go over about this new cube by 2030 that will be in Saudi Arabia. Well, hello. I want to give a closer look at this one world religion temples that have opened, and along with a giant cube that they're wanting to build a city by 2030, which we all know about the 2030 agenda. Some of the really weird topics that they're bringing up in this, and a few other news things that I want to bring up. So I want to say, may God bless you all. And we're going to take a little dig in this. March 1st is supposed to be open to the public. So once I get some videos and stuff of what's going on March 1st, it may have to be March 2nd that a video comes out. But we want to take a closer look at this Abrahamic family house that is already welcoming worshipers to the synagogue, the church, and the mosaic. March 1st, visitors can also tour the premises. This is a multi-faith complex that has attracted global attention, and there's still people around that do not realize that this is a real thing going on. I've been speaking about it for 3 years now, and people have been really like, it's not going to happen, but it has. And I'm going to relate this 30-meter cube with another cube that they're trying to make that would be a fourth cube. And the really like cryptic type of things that they're wanting to do with this. But it can accommodate between 200 to 320 worshipers, depending on whether they are seated or standing, shoulder to shoulder. But anyways, this is, of course, the outside of the synagogue here. This is one of the pictures. I want to talk about the symbolism here, that the ceiling has, of course, a bunch of triangles, as we know, pyramids and all that. This is a really weird, it's almost like you can take going from the light to the dark, because this one's pointing like an arrow from the light into the dark. It's almost like, go from the light into the dark. It should be the opposite, come out of the dark and come to the light, but nevertheless. And here we see one of the temples here. Of course, as you know, this will be of course, for the Judaism. The Ten Commandments are inscribed on the wall. This is the one synagogue. Here you can see that they have all the benches. They say about 200 people can fit inside here. These 7 arches that are outside here, this is, of course, the inside. It's really, really, I don't really know how to put it. It's just it looks very weird. It's almost like, it's got suns, like they're worshiping the sun god. And of course, we know that this faith here, the Islamic faith, they do not worship the one true God. And then, of course, St. Francis Church, talking about the Pope, it can hold 300, but it's these things here that are just kind of, the ceiling is very, very weird. There's other pictures of it, but the ceiling's very weird. But I want to relate it to something here going on, that the HRH Crown Prince announced on February 16th that they want to do this new development by 2030. They want to have this huge mega city that is one of like the biggest cities ever. And there's some things in here I just want to bring up. So just watch this minute and 46-second long clip, and it's just it's crazy.
In the future, our cities will be much more than just places to live in. The future is here, and it's real. Introducing the new Murabba, the world's largest modern downtown, designed with people at its heart, helping make Riyadh one of the top 10 most livable cities in the world. And at its center, a new icon, the Murabba. The world's first immersive experiential destination, a gateway to another world, at a scale that's unprecedented and unforgettable, where you'll feel wonder, amazement, and your heart race as you dine with gentle giants, explore a world of magic, or live on Mars, where your retail experience is completely reimagined and you feel at home in another world. This is the new face of Riyadh, a gateway to another world. New Murabba.
Right there, it kind of tells you first and foremost a gateway to another world. Um, this is a very real thing they're trying to do in Saudi Arabia. They're trying, as you can tell, it looks like a Tower of Babel. We're wanting to reach to another world. Um, and as you can see, it's almost like the days of Noah. Like the days of Noah, that giants walked upon the earth. They're almost trying to make the tech giants. They're trying to make the giants of the other world, the demons of this world. They're trying to make them huge. They're trying to make you immerse into magic and telling you a gateway. First of all, right there, it should be key that they're telling you a gateway. This is a very real thing that they're trying to do by 2030. And in the center of it all, they're calling this an icon. Nothing should be an icon. Um, but how it looks relatively similar to all the cubes of these three temples here. So by 2030, if it is completed in that time, it's almost like we'll have four giant cubes where people worship. Here they're worshiping their gods, and the other one they're worshiping their flesh, because it'll all be about dining, retail, fulfilling the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, it's just crazy, but it's things that are happening. And I'm telling you, this here related to me the days of Noah. As giants walked upon the earth, they're telling you they want you to dive into magic. And you see, they're going to have these AI that walk around and kind of fashion off the suits to you and make it all look appearing. And of course, a lot of mockers and scoffers would be like, there's nothing to see here. But the reality is, there is something to see here. We are dealing with a world that is lost and captivated within the confines of lustful eyes, lustful flesh. I do have a couple other news things I want to bring up. Before I bring those up, I just want to say there is only one way to the Father, and that is Jesus Christ. And so many people are trying to show that there's other ways to the Father, and there isn't any other way. This temple that is opening up March 1st to the public, they're wanting to bring other denominations and faith together to coexist. We cannot coexist with what is evil. So I want to remind you that it was, I think, about 4 weeks ago, I had said that we're in for the hottest year ever. 2020 was, 2021, 2022. Well, 2023 is already proving we're in the month of February, and there's places reaching 83 degrees Fahrenheit. This is relatively high. I know the record was 75, but we're talking a long time ago. We're seeing really high temperatures in February in Richmond, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Columbus, Ohio. And that's crazy because I'm pretty close to Columbus, Ohio. And honestly, we're like 62 degrees and thunderstorming today in February. February, I've really never known in my lifetime for us to have thunderstorms, and it's going to be 70 degrees by Wednesday. This is really, really abnormal weather. And then by Friday, we're supposed to have snow. So we're talking Monday through Thursday, we're talking warm weather, spring showers, and then all of a sudden we turn to snow. And this is the abnormal type of stuff that we're seeing happening in the world right now. Um, it's look, Atlanta observed a temperature of 81 degrees on February 22nd, the highest temperature ever recorded in the city during the winter. Now, this is crazy, but it's also, we know that in the end times, it says that the elements of the world will heat up. They will heat up, and we're seeing all these links to be in the description. We're seeing that parts of Southern California have been, I mean, not just a dusting of snow, they have been getting smacked with snow. Look, it says the mountain communities were slammed by an intense snowfall, with High Mountain clocking an impressive 93 inches of snow. That's crazy. That is a lot of snow. And it's this isn't anything that they're used to. You know, they were predicting up to 6 feet in some areas. That's a lot. And of course, 93 inches, if you think about it, I mean, that's what, almost 6 feet, if not more. I mean, that's a lot of snowfall for a place that is not used to snowfall like this. I mean, we're talking Southern California, um, areas that are just not accustomed to this. I mean, not that they've never gotten snow before, but not on this record amount. And it's crazy. But also, the CDC on February 25th was issuing a warning about a highly drug resistant stomach bug. If there isn't already enough things going on in the world, these links will be in the description. It says that in the past, um, this thing had affected children under 4 years old, but the CDC said it has seen a recent increase in a drug resistant infection in adults, especially men who have sex with men. Of course, we've seen this with monkeypox too, that it was seeming to hit the LGBTQ community higher. But it's also people living with HIV, or who are people who are experiencing homelessness, that are doing this along with international travelers. So it's not just linked to one, but travel in other countries, people with HIV, people that are homeless. And of course, it wasn't too long ago we did a little stream talking about how, because of the increase in temperatures, bacteria is becoming more resistant to drugs, and drugs are not taken away. Ultimately, we need to have our faith in God, because pharmakia, the sorceries of the magic that is going through all the drugs, they're failing people right now, anyways. So it should be shaking the faith of people to realize, I need my faith in Jesus Christ, because people were running to go get jabbed, and they drop like flies after they get jabbed because you didn't need it. Um, I've left my faith in God, and I've never caught this as far as I know. I've been sick throughout this time, off and on, but as far as I know, I've never caught this pestilence that's been flying through the world, because I've had my faith in Christ. And as things continue to ramp up, I mean, we continue to see biblical archaeology in Israel just at a all-time high. It seems the past 4 months, it's just been nonstop archaeology finds that they have been finding. This was an evidence of a 3,500-year-old brain surgery discovered in the biblical land of Megiddo. Megiddo is a pretty large, of course, we know that's the stomping grounds. The Battle of Megiddo, the Battle of Armageddon, is this the same land that we hear of in Revelation. This link could be in the description for people to read. I'm not really going to go real deep in it. As you know, it's just this short amount right here, but it is in the Megiddo is located in the Jezreel Valley in northern Israel. This is pretty cool that they have continued to be finding things like this. There's been a lot of archaeology finds that they have been finding in Israel, like I said, in the past 4 months. But between the way the weather's acting and the CDC, and then all this really just blasphemous type of temples they got going on, and then this here with this cube of trying to open up a new world to make it a livable city, and here's the icon in the middle, and I don't know how that doesn't look like the Tower of Babel. They want you to reach to the sky. This is exactly like the days of Noah. Now, with a little bit of update on some earthquake activity throughout the world before we close this out. There's been a lot of earthquakes in the typical places that we've been seeing lately. Turkey still having a lot of aftershocks. I think they're reaching over 10,000 aftershocks now since the original first 7.8. This is a lot, a whole lot of them. And the aftershocks have been fairly huge, 3.1s, 3.8. They haven't slowed down. There has been some relatively big um, earthquakes in other diverse places. The Solomon Islands had a 5.5. It's a really predominant one. Turkey had a huge 5.2 not too long ago. Also, I wanted the 5.6. This was in the South Pacific Ocean in Fiji, which, it's always a danger when you have one in the ocean that it can cause a tsunami or something. Of course, here at this Bay of Plenty in New Zealand, they had a 5.3. It's really close to the inland there. 5.0 in Turkey. Um, those are some pretty significant ones. And then then again in New Zealand, it was in the ocean though, 5.5. Indonesia within their island had a 5.6. China, this is what I want to talk about. As of yesterday and a few days back, they've been getting slammed. They got a 5.1, really, really huge. They've been getting hit on the border quite a bit. So there's been a lot of activity going on earthquake wise. Of course, in the past 24 hours, we've had 175 quakes in the past 7 days, 1,363 past 30, 6,734 in the past year. From today to last year at this time, we've had 65,000 quakes. It's not a normal amount to have this many, but nevertheless, we need to keep our eyes on the prize, and that is Jesus Christ. He is the only way to the Father. He had died. He lived a perfect 33 years. He resurrected from the dead, and he sits at the right hand of the Father. He is the only way to the Father. There is no other way. There's no religious ceremony that can get you to heaven. It is by the redemption and the blood of Jesus Christ that gets you there. Exodus 14:14, the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. The Lord is fighting for us on a daily basis, and we need to stay girded up in the armor of God. And how we do this is to stay in His Word, stay in the prayer, stay in the fellowship, edify one another, lift one another up, and first and foremost, pray without ceasing. I know I said prayer earlier, but I just want to emphasize on pray without ceasing. I will be keeping my eyes on March 1st for any videos that pop up with this temple being open to public tourism to see what's going on. I don't see how three different faiths are going to coexist and come together, but they've been wanting to do this for a while. There's even talks of bringing Buddhism and Hinduism and all this stuff in with it later on down the road. Right now, this is just a predominant three. The Judaism, the Islamic, and the Catholic faith are the predominant three. And then, of course, that cube in Saudi Arabia, that is, that should really be putting red flags to anybody that is born again and has spiritual eyes and discernment. That should be putting a red flag in your mind that there's something not right with this. So I'll continue to stay on top of things and look out for it. I'm going to, of course, Lord willing, Wednesday, we will be doing Matthew chapter 10. And then Thursday, I was going to do the second doom of Revelation. We did the first doom. I want to push it back one more week. I want to make sure I have enough to talk about commercial Babylon. I feel I need a little bit more time to study on that before I really dig into that one. The first doom was really popular, as we were talking, of course, about the Great Harlot. So I want to dig a little deeper on commercial Babylon before I get into it. So really, I only got really 3 lives, Lord willing, planned for this week, and that is Wednesday and of course Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you all remember the blood moon over the Sea of Galilee, the lady Diane Ketterman, she will be live on this channel on Saturday, March 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern. She will be showing the pictures of when she was over there and the tour that she was on, and giving some of the things to why it's said, take heed that no one deceives you. She wants to show you some of the things she has seen as she has traveled through ancient Israel, and a little bit of a testimony of her life to maybe help other people that might be dealing with similar things in their life. This is going to be a really interesting stream, so please share it out as much as you can, get people to come in. And then, of course, Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Lord willing, we always do church. So don't know what the word is yet, but the Lord will reveal to me in due time what that word is going to be. So may God bless you all. Keep your heads up. You fight from victory, not from defeat. And I should be Wednesday getting the last bit of recording done for my end time short film. It's going to be a really intricate film. Really dig into it. I don't know how long it's going to be, but watch it. It's hopefully opens eyes even more to individuals with things that are going on. There's going to be a little bit of clips in the beginning, and then there's going to be, of course, the video of me and kind of my personal life, and some of my family is going to be in it. So be looking out for that film. It's all going to relate to end times and to encourage one another to be bold in the gospel. So much love.